Well, it's finally here. Black Adam vs. Apocalypse Marvel Comics X-Men. My most anticipated episode of the season, which admittedly is driven by 2 years worth of my friends and I hyping up a match that none of us actually unironically care the least bit about. This was honestly the most fun waiting period of the year for me, as well as the most fun one to watch with my friends. And yes, I did indeed wear a suit to the watch party like I said I would. Hell, I even gave this video an actual budget by commissioning custom artwork of the characters in the thumbnail. Adam and Apocalypse were drawn by my good friend Ribbit Theatre and Paracosm respectively. I'll link both of them in the description. You should commission them if they happen to be open when you're watching this. Go give them your money. Right now. Do it. Don't get me wrong though, none of that guaranteed that it would be my favourite of the season. Those things didn't play into how much I liked the episode itself, just the lead up to it and the call where we all watched it. That said, how did I feel about it? Did I like the episodes? Yeah, I'd say so. But did I love it? Honestly, the answer is still yes, actually. This episode's kinda great. The analysis is pretty good. I know there are going to be people bothered by the lack of stats, which would bother me in the case of any new series, but considering how frequently Marvel and DC heroes get used on the show, I think we all kind of get it by now. We don't need more scaling chains to the same universe-destroying and intergalactic travelling feats we've seen 100 times already. They establish well enough that they consider the two to scale to similarly strong cosmic deities, and that stats were a non-factor next to their abilities. That much is fine by me. Outside of that is a rundown with good coverage of the characters' stories and powers, especially on Black Adam's end. He seems like a cool character, one I wouldn't even mind checking out some comic runs for if I ever get into DC. They establish his lack of morality and dedication to his people really well. I also think the cutaways are used very well here. They never interrupt the flow of either rundown and only serve to breathe a bit more life into them while offering some unintrusive visual gags. There's not really anything going against this analysis, even if a lot of others this season grabbed my attention more due to the characters being ones I had more interest in. But that's not really a fair comparison. What's that? I was invested in hearing them talk about mythology and movie series that I like more than with Marvel and DC? What a groundbreaking discovery. So the analysis is good, and as is to be expected from how good the preview was, I really like the fight scene. The setup for this is basically perfect. Apocalypse invades Kahndaq, and Adam's fighting to defend his home. I think more than the instances of it in Season 6, this is actually justified in kinda starting in media res, since Apocalypse's invasion is already well underway. Seeing him pull up to Kahndaq and tear shit apart for the first 30 seconds wouldn't have really added to anything. If anything, it'd only detract from the rest of the fight, since it's already not exactly one of the longer episodes. Despite that, I think it gets to include a lot. Apocalypse gets to use enough of his molecular control, morphing his limbs into various weapons in a shield, growing in size, regenerating several times, and he does your standard flying brick shtick of shooting lasers and, well, flying. Speaking of flying bricks, Adam had very little to work with in the versatility department, only really having his lightning, flight, and punching the best. But they actually worked his yellow lantern ring into the fight, which was cool to see. And I know what the big complaint's gonna be, they have a lantern ring and barely do anything with it. But I actually spoke to DJ who wrote the episode about this in the call where we watched it together. And yeah, the lightning tiger's about the extent of what Adam actually does with the ring in the comics. He has it for one run and then basically never uses it again. They just saw that he technically never lost it, the verdict wouldn't be changed by it, and thought it would be cool to include, so they did. It also means an episode that involved a lantern ring ended in a death that involved a boot stomp, so take from that what you will. I like the dialogue exchange around that part of the fight as well. Apocalypse trying to be imposing by saying that Adam's kind will fear him, only for Adam to turn that around on him as he puts on the ring powered by fear. Yeah, that kinda goes hard. This is just a better version of that one exchange in Thor vs Vegeta, since the line to prompt it makes sense in context, and doesn't ignore a previous line that could have set up a way better interaction. And while we're on the topic of dialogue, I think the lines are all delivered incredibly well. Cameron Nicod does great as good old Teth, giving us easily the best Shazam shout we've had on the show, out of the 2 episodes where that applies, but he still did good. And Mr. Marvel Comics X-Men is voiced by Wolf Williams, who sounds just as imposing as I'd like for him. The one problem I do have, which I have to stress isn't an issue with the deliveries themselves, is that the filter made a few lines a little difficult to hear on my first go around. Once I re-listened to them though, I could make them out just fine. The rest of the dialogue's all quite solid. I liked when Adam quoted Homelander, them using each other's real names made this feel like more of a proper crossover if that makes sense, and I like that Apocalypse is able to hear Zahuti telling Adam to destroy the Death Seed thanks to his telepathy. Though admittedly it's a little weird that Adam has it right in the palm of his hand for a good few seconds before Apocalypse starts fighting back, and he doesn't really do anything. Oh well, that's a minor gripe with an otherwise really good sequence. As for the rest of what happens in the fight, it's just a lot of cool stuff. The scuffle at the start has a good pace to it, but that doesn't even hold a candle to this sequence here, which is one of the fastest feeling shots in any episode, period. And yeah, the sound effects feel a little weak for the clashes, but I'm not too bothered when their fight turns the moon into a reference to another Rooster Teeth show, that obviously being Red vs. Blue. And weirdly enough, I think it has a good amount of impact to it despite not being the focus of the shot. It has the kind of booming sound I'd expect, while still being quiet due to how far away it is. It's kinda weird to explain, but I like it. Also, everything to do with Kaiju Apocalypse is fucking amazing. Despite stats being near enough even, I can totally buy him overpowering Adam like he does here, given that he absorbed some of the living lightning earlier to widen the stat gap like was said in the conclusion. All the shots he's in either being framed below him or having him in the distance to show off his size really help to sell him as this imposing terror, as does the fact that the only light source is behind him, meaning that his front view is always cloaked in shadow. It's yet another W for the fight's visuals because on top of having arguably the best 3D background in this series, it has a lot of cool looking shots, a few of which actually came in the preview. I love the shot of Apocalypse in front of the moon, and the comic panel opening was a very nice touch. I'm kinda surprised this is the first comic fight to do something like this. And before we get to the death, I can't not mention the track. I would describe Fallen Gods as Kings of Infinity except if it was actually good. From what I'm told, rap is not a genre that particularly fits either of these characters, and it doesn't really sync up to much in the fight. That said, I kind of love it. It's really catchy and has a much better pace to it than Kings of Infinity did. Vocals are on point too. That said, while most of the lyrics are fine, some are a little silly. Despite my enthusiasm for the match being ironic, I didn't expect any of that enjoyment to carry into the episode itself. But now we have been graced with an episode where the track lyrics include the phrase, "I'm powerful, I punch the best." I don't even want to delve into the rest of them to see what other funnies I can find, that's all I need. And now for the death, which has some of the coolest stuff in the animation, but also some of the dumbest stuff. Thankfully though, the bulk of the flaws are in the build-up and don't detract too much from the kill sequence itself. After Apocalypse regenerates around the Death Seed, Teth goes to do the Shazam shout again, but stops for some reason. I don't really get that. It would have taken less time for him to finish the shout than it would for him to stop and have a quirky reaction to Apocalypse slowly rising his foot to stomp on him. Not to mention this is the character where, in the analysis, Boomstick outright says, "You can knock him down, but he won't stay down," getting knocked down and staying there for like 20 seconds. I like that he initially still fights back against Kaiju Apocalypse despite being unable to move, but then the second time around he just stops to make a quirky. Yeah, I can't say this bit works that well for me. Thankfully what follows it more than makes up for it. Apocalypse continually stomping in Adam's face while cackling is great, as is this hand-drawn shot. I can understand if the one following it looks a little silly and funny to you though, but I don't mind it. And I love that Apocalypse gets Adam to the point where he can barely function, then make sure his final memory is seeing his home being destroyed before he fries his brain with his own lightning. All with the screen still cracked from that first stomp, which even carries into the conclusion, and the animation ends just like it started with a comic book graphic. That's a fucking awesome kill. In spite of the flaws in the build-up, I think this delivered on what I was expecting. What I wasn't expecting though was this verdict. I knew it was close and debatable, but I'd heard Black Adam was the consensus to win, so I was super surprised Apocalypse ended up taking it. Usually in the watch parties with my friends, we still talk a bit about the episode over the conclusion, but for this one we were actually just in shocked silence and really wanted to hear their reasoning. So yeah, caught me off guard. Much like the next time, but I'll get to that in a minute. And that was Black Adam vs. Apocalypse, the greatest episode ever made. I mean, Boomstick says Batman and magic in the same sentence. If that doesn't deserve a 10 out of 10, I don't know what does. Okay, no, but for real, 8 out of 10. Which I feel like with how many other episodes I've placed on that same level this year, is still a very, very high score. I love the episode a lot. It's currently in the bottom half of my ranking of the season, but this is the only season where that's the case. Place it in any other and it'd crack the top half, with it being an overall highlight in most of them. It just ended up being part of the most stacked lineup Death Battle has ever had in my opinion. Even this season's weakest episodes are still good, and this is better than a good few of them. And next up is Trunks vs. Silver, which I both did and didn't expect. I did expect a matchup, but not Heroes and Archie being the versions they went with. I'm excited to see where this goes. These are essentially the officially licensed fanfic versions of these characters, so I'm expecting it to get wild. Just get Kaiser Neko to voice Trunks, working It's No Use somehow, and we're golden. Now, before I finish up, I should probably also mention the DBX of this match, since I said that it'd get its own solo video well over a year ago by now. I might not have a guest on with me like was initially planned for it, but I think now's as good as time as any. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like the fight, the death is pretty gruesome, and I like it even if it contradicts what was said in the analysis. And said analysis was really funny thanks to the enjoyable dynamic between Wiz and Ringmaster. Solid 7 out of 10. Yeah, that's all I got. A year's worth of build-up for 2 sentences. And that's funnier to me than hyping this matchup could have ever been. Anyway, there we go. I talked about the funny match, the conclusion to the greatest bit in my friend group's history. Now all we have left is the highlight reel, which we recorded a bit extra for since we watched some DBXs beforehand. Oh yeah, and go watch Nem's review as well. I totally didn't just add that in at the last second because I forgot. How dare you?
Oh my god.
Let's go.
I
ain't
got
a tie on by
Alright, so here's what's not gonna happen. This right here is what's not gonna happen to the apocalypse today.
Let's go. It's gonna be an apocalypse.
If only I had time.
Oh,
I
fuck.
don't.
It's apocalypse time.
I think
Okay.
Black Adam is sort of overhyped right now.
Biffweed!
I think
No, no, Black
Biffweed!
Adam's awesome. How dare you?
Biffweed, are you wearing this suit, Biffweed?
Let me send the photo. Hold on.
Oh, good. Yes!
Better. Let's go.
Let's go.
Badass. Let's fucking go.
Get him, Apocalypse.
Let's go, Apocalypse. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
great.
ooh,
Yeah,
ooh. Oh, oh
Watch
shit.
out, Black
Okay.
Adam. He's gonna get you.
I have looked forward to this day.
2 years. Yes, go Black Adam.
That pyramid might be useful if you can get it first, Mr. Apocalypse.
Black Adam is powerful and punches the best, so like.
Yeah,
but
Black
Black Adam
Adam.
is
I
the best.
Listen, I'm rooting for Black Adam, but Apocalypse is a boss from the ancient times, so it's either way.
Uh-oh, Black Adam. You're in a little bit of trouble here.
Do your famous drill move.
Yeah,
girl,
let's do
Madonna.
it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
No.
go.
No, he
Yo,
doesn't do
Apocalypse,
that,
look
no.
out! No,
No!
Apocalypse got this.
Yes. Yes. No shot.
You thought that
Oh,
could
he
take down
did the Mario
Apocalypse?
shrink.
All it had to do was make him shrink.
Yes.
No, no!
No!
Oh,
Yes!
Damn.
Go get him, Black Adam.
Surely mere
get him.
lightning will not affect the apocalypse.
Look,
No!
it ripped off. Look, he's ripped off his armor.
Oh God!
Yeah, go get him, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's his Smash Brothers Spike. There's his final smash.
Well, I did not see that coming.
Holy
Neither
crap,
did I.
that was badass. You know, I think that should be a death battle.
This is wrong.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Look at that! Look at that!
I think there should be a
47%
death
of
battle.
people knew what was
Fuck
up.
you, Daffy Duck and Donald Duck. You're lame.
All right, we still got a little 2 minutes, so I'm thinking a little alternate ending.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
let's-
They
let's-
did an
let's-
alternate
this is
ending? No
just
fucking
like
way.
There's no way.
Let's what the
Fuck you,
what
There's
the
man.
white
no way.
outcome? You tell him, Apocalypse.
There he
I
is.
keep-
Oh, shut
Yeah, you
up,
tell him,
Black Adam.
No, you
Oh.
tell him.
All right, let's get it.
Trivial?
Bring him go.
He's only
Come on,
one of
get a
the
second
powerful
win.
Marvel characters. Jeez. That pyramid may come in handy later.
Yeah, I'm thinking that pyramid might come in handy later if you use it.
Yeah.
I think it just might.
Oh,
Like,
he
there's a
didn't see
chance.
that coming. He didn't see that coming.
Oh, no
Whoa.
way. Did y'all really ping
Up
Ducko
till.
thinking he was gonna join for
Yeah,
Adam versus Apocalypse?
Of course he would.
I
This
was
is his favorite fight. After all this had
you
to
just say it
happen.
needs to happen.
Oh, fuck,
It
fight
needs to
special.
happen, of course.
Oh, he's activating his final smash.
Oh no, he's taking his shit.
Look at how well he's deflecting these
Well, he
rocks.
was crossing his arms. He was very ready to say a slur there.
He's gonna talk about forced diversity. Let's go, Black Adam.
You don't want to let your guard down on the Apocalypse.
You
Black Adam's
will
about to get
fear the
rage quit.
apocalypse.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, yeah, let's see this trump card
Oh,
fucking
fuck.
fail. Let's see
Ooh,
it all
he's
come
doing it again.
down.
It's time for the Black Adam
You
sweep.
think a triangular walk
The Black
is gonna
Adam
do anything
spin.
to Apocalypse?
Uh-oh, Apocalypse, you're in a bit of trouble.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh,
blow it up,
you're in a
buddy.
hole.
Oh,
He's in
Clearly
trouble
you
right
don't
now.
know who you're talking
Oh, fuck, you
to.
got the
You
Mario
thought
shrink
that
again.
would, you know.
Ooh.
You know what to do. You know what to do.
Oh, forward smash.
Oh, look.
Oh,
What? No way.
Oh,
That
Whoa.
Wade
He
move.
got
Wade move.
outsmart. No way. That would never
No
happen
way,
to
it's
Black Adam.
Simon, it's Simon
I can't
Belmont.
believe this.
No, Spike Kinney.
That reminds me of Boba Fett versus Predator.
Oh, true that.
Are
bestie.
you telling him, Apocalypse?
yeah, tear him apart.
What? Black Adam got more votes,
And that's
but Apocalypse
what's gonna
won. This is
happen
rigged.
today on Death Battle.
Fuck you, Darks. You're lame.
Here we are.
Here we are.
There it is.
Wait,
Here it
are we
is.
not?
Jo-
Are we
Dwayne
not
Johnson.
checking? With,
Already
are we
did.
not seeing?
Already
If,
did it.
but I was gonna say like are we not gonna ask the others who aren't here if they're gonna? It's just Butter and Ollie, right?
Just Butter and Ollie, but they haven't responded.
They have not responded.
Did we give them an extra bit of time, or
We'll give him a little bit of extra time because of course this is Black Adam versus Apocalypse.
this is the Black Adam
This
versus
is the
Apocalypse.
episode of
I'm
Death Battle.
tapping my
The
feet in
episode.
anticipation.
What shall we watch beforehand, though? What's the time?
You know, there's this
We have
really
time for
good,
Alucard versus
great
Spawn.
animation called Spawn vs. Alucard.
Oh, that's
True.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, that's true.
Are we
That's
ready?
true.
I think it's
Very
pretty
They
cool.
get a
There it
Spawn
is,
versus
first
Al.
result.
All right, let's at them. We'll give them Spawn versus Alucard to join the call.
Yes.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo, Black Adam vs. Apocalypse is literally like peak fiction, but you know,
Alright.
can't beat the number one.
No rules, just bloodshed.
Oh, no rules. Oh,
The
anything
title
can happen.
card at the start. The lack of
Oh,
real
that's so-
dialogue that perfectly
Oh
fits.
fuck, that's so good.
Oh, okay, get him Spawn. Oh shit.
Oh,
Oh
okay,
my
okay.
god, that was
A lucky
quite
shot,
impactful.
a lucky
quite,
shot.
Quite good sound design, I must say.
Pretty sure
That was some
Oh, there's
creative
no way.
choreography.
There's no way Alucard could survive that.
Yes,
on
being
go.
known as my mother just gave me burgers. I'm fine dining during Alucard vs. Spawn. This is so epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, go get him.
I'm realizing
fine,
this
can't
means
get-
technically Alucard versus Spawn is the first thing I wear the suit.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Black Adam versus Apocalypse.
Oh!
No
way.
way, no
Let's
way.
go. Let's
What
go.
the fuck? You
No.
can't do that.
That'll
Can I
happen.
just say I researched Alucard and that's bullshit. He would have
Well, to be
easily
fair,
generated
you
his
also
head from
forgot
that.
about Schrödinger.
That'll
true.
happen if you don't pay attention.
Well, there's no research though, so it's fine.
All right, Black Adam versus Apocalypse, DC versus Marvel. These two ancient Egyptian demigods will clash in a I can't fucking read that in a comic book brawl for the ages in this death battle. All right, let's
Yeah,
go. Let's
yeah, of
Oh,
course.
bro,
jump
for
right
the
This
in.
is what
ages.
Marvel
Yeah.
and DC's been building up to.
It's
Fuck
time
any
to-
other rivalry they had. Fuck
The
Batman
episode
versus
that-
Spider-Man.
Put
That's
money where
twisty
your
shit.
mouth
This is the
is and
real,
actually show
real
us the
jewel
battle.
here.
All right,
It's
here
gonna
we
be the
go.
best episode ever.
All right.
Repeat.
Here we fucking go, boys.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, my boy.
Look at this
go.
idiot.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
Boo.
It's Apocalypse stuff.
Ew, hate him. Contest of Champions, my beloved.
Yeah, death battle. Let's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah. Boomstick got ready.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Ah.
go. This is the greatest day of my life. Wait, the Rock of Eternity. Oh my! I watched Elvis last night, and the Rock of Eternity is like actually a plot point in that movie.
Get
I haven't
connected.
seen
It was
yet.
all
I-
foreshadowing.
I've been meaning to watch it.
Of course,
It's like
every piece of fiction's been building up to this.
Elvis wasn't great. I'll be honest. It was fine, but it was 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I would not sit through it again.
I can take fine. That's basically what I was expecting.
Yeah, but like almost 3 hours of fine.
Oh. Well, I'll see. I'll see what I think of it.
She's gonna shake him.
Oh,
Oh,
you're just in
who's
time. Ribbon, just
Oh,
in
you're
time.
just in time.
Just in time.
You missed Batman magic.
Fiction.
You
But
missed
we're-
Batman magic.
It's okay, it's okay. Calm yourselves. No, it isn't. We will not tolerate.
Oh, it's Ollie.
The rain is over.
Bit of a delayed reaction there.
Yeah, Jeff, absolutely.
Don't worry, you didn't miss anything outside the preview yet.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
the previews.
Black Adam's so fucking happy with himself with that.
Oh, yo, so we can get Sinestro versus Pennywise, but replace Sinestro with Black Adam.
No. No.
You know, I agree with Matt. We don't
I
wanna
agree
mess
with
the
you. I think that
legacy
should be
matchup
that
of
should be
Sinestro
Black Adam's
and
returning
Pennywise.
match.
Yeah, it's this year's Halloween episode.
No.
Oh, dude, I'd pop off.
I'd be so pissed.
Ooh,
Let's go.
Dawn?
Donovan,
Donovan?
let's go.
Ecto line.
Alright, come on, where's the slapstick?
Yeah, where's the slapstick?
I can't laugh unless some goofy shit happens.
It's from that movie. Oh, is he gonna spin? Is he gonna spin?
Ooh, he's got quick
So we
wit.
have quick wit, yeah, he's gonna use that against
don't
him.
like
I don't like that.
I don't like it.
That was
Why did you like
not-
Robin Rotten there?
This fucking Saturday morning cartoon villain.
He is pissed. He's fucking
He's got
pissed.
that indomitable will. I think he should fight Simon the Digger.
Stop talking.
He's shitting.
He's shit. Fuck off. Stop beating me to the punch, though.
I'm awesome.
Select?
Oh, you guys just have this. We have to have the same points though.
Defeated the four horsemen of the apocalypse already. Okay, so we know the winner.
Shut
Oh,
up.
watch out, Apocalypse.
Let's go.
Oh my god, he She-Hulks!
He throws it back?
Oh, he did the awesome clap.
Oh, I thought you were saying Black Adam threw it back. I was sad I missed it.
If
Yeah.
I
I wish he did that.
I don't care what kind of power he's got, quite frankly.
Apocalypse will.
Oh wait, he might do a time hut. Oh god, he might do a time hut.
That's a great way to end him with these fucking disgusting injustice clips. Alright, now
They didn't end it
we're
in
really
one,
here.
too. That game's ugly as
That's what we're
shit.
really here for. I'm South Park!
Why did you have such a visceral reaction to South Park? South Park, fuck!
I did not expect South Park.
Oh, have you not seen the previews?
First thing. Oh, wait, is that?
Isn't that a Seth Rogen movie?
Yeah, what was it called? Oh my god.
Seth Rogen and South Park in the same episode? Holy shit.
I think that might have been Simpsons footage as well.
Yeah, I saw some
Yeah.
footage as well.
Yeah, Simpson.
Oh, they sold me. It's
I think it was
apocalypse
This Is
time.
the End. I think that's what that movie's called.
He looked at the child and he said, that's pretty awesome.
He's not a fucking winner.
He's gonna beat Black Adam on Death Battle one day, I just know it.
No, he won't.
Phil, your destiny.
That's true,
Apocalypse.
that's true, he
You're
won.
the only one. You're the only one capable of defeating Black Adam.
Why? You just might have a shot, buddy. He's a fucking tragic hero, you see.
Fuck off, Max!
Yeah, what? I'm just saying.
Oh fuck!
I'm
Look
just
at
saying.
him. Fucking hell.
You guys are acting
That
like
guy's
the
like
people
nutting in the
comics.
bottom corner. Look, he's nutting.
They
Did you
made
guys
him
not-
into a monster, so a monster he became.
Stop being mean to Beak. You did nothing wrong.
Fuck Beak. Fuck that guy.
Why should I apologize for being a monster? No one ever apologized
Shut up.
for turning me inborn.
Oh, epic movie.
I just got goosebumps looking at that footage.
I'm so proud.
He's walking towards the screen.
Oh,
Watch
that
out.
reminds me of that Star Wars game with that guy just walking.
Hell yeah! Oh, holy shit.
Look
Oh, he
into
was
my
really
eye.
busy now.
Oh, it's the guy.
I'm Sans
that was the
Undertale,
guy
look
that
into
boosted
my
Gold
eye.
Kid.
Oh
What
shit.
if?
Not Boomstick, bro.
Okay.
He was my favorite.
What if
Fucking
when they were talking about
resistance
Cable, a little thing showed at the bottom that said, "As discussed in Cable versus Booster Gold."
We're not gonna go back to Boomstick.
Yeah. I guess we're just gonna ignore that.
He's dying. Just don't worry about it.
What is Black Adam gonna do to that? He's gonna get hacked.
He's gonna punch it because he punches the best.
Yeah, exactly. That's like what I said.
He'll just
Look
punch
at
it
that!
away.
Look at that! Even Superman, I assume, cannot resist it.
Max, you should have your own versus
solid
show.
arguments, Max.
Look at me! I'm going to win.
He looks really bored.
Yeah,
He ate a Mario mushroom. He's growing.
He's pointing.
Guys, he can have any power he desires in the handbook. Come on,
I
guys.
wish to have the power to instant kill Black Adam.
Yeah, he could do that.
I want an anti-Black Adam punch.
No, he punches better.
Oh, see, you can take
True.
energy. He's gonna take away his lightning.
Give me your lightning.
Small
Fuck
planet
you.
in half, you guys. A small planet in half.
Oh, I hated him there. What the heck?
Oh, Deadpool got a dumpy.
He can't always be the prettiest face.
Oh, I hate him there as well.
So happy.
He's getting worse.
He beat Iceman like from Top Gun? No way. No way he's beaten Iceman Top Gun.
Can't he beat Ice?
Thought you were gonna say Iceman from the DBX.
No, I just have Top Gun on the brain always.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Watch out.
He's got wings now.
Look up for the apocalypse.
Oh my god, Max, please. I'm begging
There's
you.
a shape up for the apocalypse.
I'm going insane.
Oh,
Oh, do it,
He shook his hand so hard.
Probably fucking peaks the mic. Jesus.
Best day of my
Let's go.
life.
Oh, that was the happiest anything the season's made me.
Oh my fucking god, guys, here we go.
Apocalypse, bring it
It
Yeah.
home.
ends now. It ends
You're
now.
messing with the greatest mutant alive.
No, dude, it's Black Adam time.
This is so cool. Like, just
Yeah,
this
I like
That's
that so
such a-
much.
Yeah.
This looks so
Such a
fucking
great
good.
I
Look
can't
at
believe
that.
this has better looking 3D backgrounds than the actual 3D fight.
Of course, it's Black Adam versus Apocalypse. Why wouldn't it?
Look at this
Cool,
idiot.
Derek
Thinking he's gonna do
Challenge
anything.
The greatest piece of music of all time is now playing.
I punched the best.
I'm never I punished him.
You punched the best. You just did
Oh
it.
no, you got. Oh, you think you got him? We're about to be
Yeah, I wouldn't celebrate yet. I wouldn't celebrate yet, Black Adam.
Don't want to let your guard down on the apocalypse.
Wow.
What? I thought he punched the best.
Ooh!
Look at him.
Ooh.
Look at him go.
Oh, I'd be careful, Black Adam. He's
shit.
he's unlike anyone you've ever faced before.
He's not here to play.
You can't
Oh,
beat
oh, yes.
him. He said his
I was
name.
scared. I was scared for a second. I thought he was done for.
Help!
I liked him grabbing the. his
Oh,
balls.
Yo, it's robots from Robots
Oh, you're
2005.
struggling against his
Ooh.
minions. Oh, that's just pathetic. You think you're gonna do? You think you do apocalypse?
Sinestro time.
Holy shit!
Oh, look at him. There's an outside
Oh.
help from this bitch ass.
Oh my god, what?
Oh, the moon! Bye, man!
Thor vs. Vegeta
This is
wishes.
epic.
You can stop. You can stop it, buddy.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, you know, Sue.
Max, I am begging you.
Hey, now let him.
Oh my god, that was
Let's,
Ruby
let's go. Let's go, apocalypse.
Oh fuck!
Let's go.
Like a fucking
This is
fly.
pretty cool.
This looks so cool.
Back on looks
good.
so good.
He popped off.
Oh fuck!
Yo.
No.
Go get him, Black Adam.
Don't be so sure. Don't be so sure,
Oh,
Black
fuck.
Adam.
Thought that would kill him.
Wait, did Apocalypse
Oh,
win?
fuck.
Let's go.
No way.
Fucking win.
What the fuck?
Hold on, hold on.
No.
No, this is a
No
fake out.
way.
Yeah, surely.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, fucking
He
hell.
broke the screen.
Jesus Christ!
Jesus.
Whoa!
No way.
Whoa!
What?
Go off, Apocalypse!
He
Oh
was!
my God.
Go
Let's
off,
go,
Apocalypse!
When the world was
Oh
against him, he
crap.
triumphed.
Holy shit!
This is the
go.
underdog story of the
He did it.
century.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
As far as that's too, Wiz. I agree with you.
I generally did not expect Apocalypse to win it. Oh my god.
I know all along. I was an Apocalypse supporter the entire time.
You're all just so fucking invested.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta know
It's
how
Black
he
Adam
did
versus
it.
Apocalypse. Why wouldn't
I knew he was
wouldn't I
gonna
be?
do it. I just had to know why.
I love the fucking shots of
Yeah.
Apocalypse being
Yeah.
giant. Oh my god.
There
There were a
really
lot of cool
nice.
shots in that episode.
That was really good, yeah.
Very
See, I told
apocalypse.
you. I told you. I
Oh
called
my
it.
Yeah.
See, good.
God.
That was your undoing, Black Adam.
Using it on that cash machine. If you never
that
did that, you
was-
would
I
have
think
won.
Apocalypse winning made the end of this bit so much better because we all expected Black
Yeah.
We all expected Black Adam to win,
Here's the
except for a
belt,
few.
I guess he just didn't punch the best. The song was a lie.
I mean, to be fair, Apocalypse is a boss from the ancient times.
It was all down to like go to Death Seed.
Yeah.
Apocalypse has final boss powers.
Apocalypse,
That's
what did you
great.
do?
Very cool Apocalypse.
Apocalypse
Ew.
Marvel Comics X-Men. Let's go.
Alright.
So next is like
Claps.
Trunks
Alright.
versus
Trunks
Silver,
versus
right?
Silver. Trunks versus Silver. Here we go.
Yeah, come on, let's get it out of the way.
Get out of the
Some
way.
surprises though.
Come on, Trunks is the silver.
Yeah, Trunks versus
Yes,
Silver.
let's go!
Ah,
It's
yeah.
our It's our
Actually,
fault!
They're
Oh,
composite?
okay, yeah, Archie, yeah, absolutely.
They're composite.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay, now I'm actually
Oh,
into
okay,
it.
wait, did you see at the bottom it was specifically
Heroes.
Archie Silver?
Heroes
Interesting.
versus
Heroes.
Archie.
Yeah, Heroes.
That's actually interesting.